Hi, so this little video I'm going to do a clip on is on the subject of 3D and ascension, 3D, 4D, 5D. I actually think we're going to go to about 11. For several different reasons, because it's to do about, in my studies and my theory, is to do about the healing of the earth body, which is our body down from the neck, our darkness, so we can connect and live on earth once again in harmony. So the 3D world is not going anywhere, so to speak, but it's healing. So the low frequencies of trauma healing. So the 3D, in my opinion, is staying, so we can come and be in 3D, but we can also see and be in these other dimensions at the same time. This is what I feel about the third eye opening. So I believe, you know, the third eye is the three-dimensional. I don't know if anyone has seen the split atom and about the you know, the different dimensions and you have interference pattern, and then when it comes back into two splits. So this is when it divides out, actually, and I think it divides out into this 5 and 5, which is about the elements. This is what I'm trying to say. So we've got like 5, 6, this with the soul and the heart, but this is like about the 5-star element, and then you've got the 6 stars, these points and things like this. So anyway, this is how it correlates into what I'm trying to and have been studying for the last few years, is what's happening in these developments, is it's healing. Now, all of these elements, when they're in balance and in their true forces, have all these emotions of grief and sadness and fear, self-love, abandonment, that normally comes under, and neglect and things like that. So you've got these other 4 elements, which is underneath, and then only you've got the other peak there, which is love and joy. So love for me is truth. So, you know, how can we feel love and heal in love? Only when we're in the truth. Only when we're in the truth of what's in ourselves and what's in our memory, what's in our subconscious, which is trauma, amnesia, trauma of centuries and centuries of humanity, in my opinion. And so this consciousness, us ascending, is the truth coming. So there's a lot of it, you know, 90%. And this is why it's the head is the like the iPhone information, ding ding. And this is why we go at 5G, 3G, 4, 5, and the other thing is going to go up and up and up. Not too much. It's going to get to a point. I was a bit high on it, but we also have to keep our body. So 3D. So now I really feel like the reason that there is, I don't talk about death and passing because it's not very nice, but and all heart and compassion to people who are going through it with COVID issues and even mental health issues and suicide. I mean, that's on the rise as well. But you know, so as I talk about it, anyone experiencing this, my heart is with you. But what I'm saying is, anyone that basically, if you can't take the pain with suicide, is someone not being able to take the pain. Been down this road myself, and then we've got cardiac arrests, which I've experienced myself as well, and then death with other issues, and this is the body not dealing with the pressure that's coming up from the 3D. Okay, so what we actually need to do is actually be able to stay anchored down, grounding. We need to stay 3D, but purge the emotions that are stuck in the soul and in the memory, in the nervous system, in the lineage, basically, and bring it down like we are cells on her earth body. This is our earth body, and process so we can stay and we can ascend at the same time. So we bring heaven to earth, we bring consciousness down to earth. This is my belief, and this is why even if you're ascending, it's now really painful, emotionally painful, physically painful. We're having much more physical ailments because we need to purge, and the only way we need to cleanse and purge, the only way we can do this is either do the dark shadow work where and soul retrievals where we release trauma. I used magic mushrooms and truffles in a therapeutic way, not a recreational drug taking way. These medicines come from the earth, so they're not drugs, they're not man-made, they're not you know, I mean, you don't make money off them, you know, they're not on the black market, so there could be, but this is another subject, so to speak. But I'm talking about medicines in a very medicinal way. Okay, now if I put everything in my body that the body recognizes because the earth gave it to us, so I can't actually put that much toxins. I couldn't. I can now, actually. Now I've done the purging a little bit more, but this is my belief. And then Cambo medicine, we've got liver flushing, which is free, to actually get the stones out the liver, and you can keep taking the stones out the liver, and when you take the pressure off the liver, the memories from the kidney come back. This is again to do with amnesia, memory loss, PTSD that's coming through from COVID, long COVID issues, post-traumatic stress symptoms, and Alzheimer's is really just another PTSD, in my opinion. I've studied this a long time and had very, very deep personal experience through this. I share this on another video, my personal story, because I'm trying to separate where I've studied medically and then my personal experience. Although they come together because I'm a patient of my own, I'm trying to understand and get this out as medicine of frequency. And so psychedelics or psilocybin, go into that, because what they do is they open up the portal of the pineal gland, which is actually vice versa. So every time you open up the pineal gland, you can open it, actually heals the brain where it's had trauma, and it can allow you to open this so you can actually regain your memories and process the memories which at the time were so traumatic that it caused you to disassociate, which caused that much pain. So when your third eye is open, you can release all your memories, and you can see right back to the past, but it has to be in a very safe space and someone who understands. And also now we've got the spiritual war in play. There's a lot of other energies that can attack, like psychic attack. You can call them entities, spirits, and there's lots of spirits that are trapped in different they haven't been able to release to source. So this is why the safety of taking these medicines is essential. It's very good that they're in Western medicine now, but it's important to be taking them at the moment, especially in the last couple of years with COVID, because you don't want to leave after taking them with an attachment and then thinking, oh, you feel worse. So you may feel worse because you've got something else energetically in your field. So these dimensions, someone like myself who understands the spiritual realms, be able to feel and see if there's anything else that's in. So you are just dealing with your own energy and own trauma. So I've gone off into a different subject, which I say in most of my videos, because all of these subjects is like a puzzle. It's all connected together. I'm trying to remember what I called this video to start with. We'll get there in a minute, I'll remember. No, it's gone. It'll come back as I keep talking. But oh, it was a 3D. I knew it would come back. Right, that's why we're talking about, yeah. So I've got off. So yeah, because a lot of and it's not a criticism, there's no time or separation. We're all about coming together at the moment, but this is just from my studies. So anyway, I just see, and I see that people are really having trouble with physical conditions, and this is because we need to ground now. We need to get back down to earth. All right, let's bring this awakening to the earth realm. Let's change earth. And earth is staying as she is. She's just going to heal. So we're going to get rid of the system's going to fall apart because it doesn't belong in the laws of nature. And so she can become like the Garden of Eden again. And I do believe we won't need electricity, we won't need power, which is why all of these systems are going a bit financially crazy and things like this. Because actually when we're connected with our soul and our light, we can see in the dark. The temperature on Earth will be much more manageable because our inside boiler, nervous system, thyroid system, all of this, all from the pineal gland, menopause, this is all spiritual awakening, all block off from the liver, block off from the neck. So all of this will come back into balance, so we won't have such extreme weather, and we'll be able to live back on the land again. This will be possible. I think the stone buildings are a blockage, like the stones in the liver and the kidneys is what blocks the system inside of our body. And this is exactly the same on the earth. And this is what I'm saying. Once you learn the laws of nature with the elements, you can be your own doctor. Okay, so I'm looking at myself, not in the camera. Anyway, sorry, I just realised that. So yeah, once you learn the elements, I have is because I studied so crazy. Yes, I did a degree in it, but I also studied because I needed to find a way that my body would heal. I needed to survive. I was taught, I needed to be, and I needed other ways that the system would work for me. And this is what I found. So this is why I'm sharing it now with people who are struggling. So how to raise your frequency, but you can keep raising your frequency, but it's bloody exhausting, like clearing and yoga for thinking about what you want to eat. And you have to go through this at some stage to do the cleansing and the healing. But really, then you want to be back down to earth. So what I mean, as in I'm careful what I eat, I am. But I can have a glass of red wine. I can have a couple, actually, not have any hangover. And I could eat a pizza, and these things I couldn't do at some stage. I literally had to just juice and fast and yoga and breathing and really protect myself. But we did come to earth to enjoy earthly things, we just got to get it back into balance and not be in the extremes of like addictions and things. So I've had many experiences of addictions. We don't just have drug and alcohol addiction. We can have work addiction, relationship addiction, chocolate, sex, or being sociable. You can have addictions in many, many, many different things. But the addiction is the need to fulfill yourself with something. So we want freedom. So you want to be able to go, I can have a glass of wine. I sometimes have a cigarette, a rollie. I have tobacco, but I'd have one once a week, couple of weeks, if I have a glass of wine. So this is freedom. So there's the addiction is just like where before it'd have to be cut off, all or nothing, and this is what I work with people. I'm talking about these substances, but there's other things like I needed to always be with people. Now I can have a balance. There's different things. I won't just talk about myself, but it's having the freedom to, when you've healed this earth body, and having weight management as well, aches and pains and thyroid things, intestinal things, my period, I'm 43 now and my period still comes. I have no problems. It's much lighter, but it comes and goes, and it sort of goes in sync with the mood. But I don't even think about it. And I used to have cysts, I used to have backache, so many conditions. I had a condition where my skin was blistering. I had so much stress, any kind of stress I had. IBS and you test it, I list it, so and now, and they've just got, I forget that I used to have them. So this is the freedom of having our earth body back again. And then if we can have as many of us do this, I believe that the earth will come back into balance herself as well. She's our mum, she is our host, and she is buckled, she's really buckled, and she is like a single mum. I say that because I say that, all are trying to do everything. She's disconnected from the father energy, the sky energy. We don't know that any other things exist up there. A few of us, like myself, obviously have direct contact, but we will all have this. And if we all had this knowledge and this connection, once we do the earth healing, you see, then the earth will be supported again by, it's this yin and yang energy, the father. This is why we have, especially in England is the heart of the earth. We've got America as the kidneys. So we've got this Kundalini channel on the earth. And this is why the United Kingdom always has a thing, was a single parent mother, like the female. It's kind of a fashion at the minute. So it's the first point, of course, of family breakdown and religious breakdown and all of this breakdown. So it feels like we're the worst breakdown country. But this is why, because we're the heart, and it is the first port of call to recognize this reflection, symbolic of what the earth is feeling. And she's feeling like this isolated single mother, basically, and she can't look after us anymore. She can't, because the system, the natural form that's within our body is broken, and it doesn't function, it doesn't work. So yeah, this was the 3D and 5D, and I think we, because I've worked out this sort of physical, I love working with numbers and the pyramids and the cycles and things like this, circles and triangles, and the waves of the water normally are 3 and then 7, and 7 is transformation. So I'm going into how many years? So we've had about 1 year of the wake up, and I believe we've got 6 more years, because we have 7 years. Not saying it won't continue after that, but that will be, these are the few rough years, should we say. And I think 2020 was because of the 22 chromosome, 23, and then we got 24, and it's 2,400, which is normally the big, these numbers are everywhere. Once you see the pattern of numbers, it's literally physics everywhere. So this is what's happening now, and this is where I feel that we've got this many years to go. And the wave of 3 is, we've also got the layers of people waking up. So this is why we've got a layer of some people coming, and then another layer and another layer. So don't rush people, because it just needs a layer at a time. And then that layer can teach that layer of people, and that layer and that. And the first layer of people, only people with deeper trauma. So it's not a competition, you know, hurry up and wake up. It's people that are less, you know, aware of what, geez, it's this sort of, I don't want to talk about the vaccine really, but you know, the less awake people to what's going on in the corruption, shall we say, just means they've had a bit of a more peaceful life within the system, you know, so they haven't seen it, they haven't gone through anything that's made them go, what was that crap about? Do you see what I mean? So there's no, let's get the ego out of the way, do you know what I mean? There's no rush. But I would, anyone who's having these sort of physical symptoms, because there is a lot of people, is just to cleanse and purge the body. Kambo, find a Kambo practitioner. This was a life changing to my life. And again, the same as ceremonies, make sure you do it in a very safe space, people that are aware of the spiritual war and can clear lower frequencies and entities and know if they're there or not with any of these medicines. Liver flush is very safe, natural, free, and you can do it at home. Shadow work you can do online at home with me or other practitioners that are out there. And yeah, just juicing, fasting, flushing, and yoga, and slowing down your life and cutting things off that don't serve your energy field anymore. Anyway, I think that's enough on that subject. Yeah, hope that helps. Lots of love. Ciao.